Classical encryption techniques. The table of contents. Two kinds of encryption. Symmetric encryption. Basic, cheaper model. Cryptography and cryptanalysis. Brute force search and the cheapers. Our reporters, yours truly, Marvin A. Aswin, Anjanette Escora, Abigail Garcia, Christine Joy Garcia, Poavid Love Hobe. Encryption is the way of scrambling data so that only authorized parties can understand the informations. In technical terms, it is the process of converting human-readable plain text into incomprehensive text. For example, the hello plain text is different when keywords is the clippers. So that's what encryption work. There are two different types of encryptions. The two main kinds of encryptions are symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryptions. Asymmetric encryptions is also known as public key encryptions. In symmetric encryption, the same key is used for encryption and decryption. It is therefore critical that a secure method is considered to transfer the key between sender and recipient. So that is symmetric encryption work.
A symmetric encrypting model of the key, different of encrypting and decrypting process, is known as private key. Private key is a key exchange to share that key secure with trusted parties. Accuracy to exchange service data. Systematic keyfter model. A systematic keyfter is one that uses the same key for encryption and decryption. It's worked by once the needed recipient who possess the key has like message and agreement. Receipt its action. Message is returned to its original and understandable form. In the model, this is the mathematical representation of systematic keyfter. The y equal, this represent the equation, and the equation relate to description represent as d equal e, open close parenthesis, where d is equal description. DE is example of systematic encryption.
Symmetric cipher model, advantage and disadvantage. Advantage: symmetric key is faster than asymmetric key cryptography. Same key is used for encryption and decryption. Receiver cannot decrypt data without key shared by the sender. Symmetric key achieves the authentication principle because it checks receiver identity. System resources are less utilized. Disadvantage: once key is deposed, transmitted data is not secure anymore and can easily be cracked. In symmetric key cryptography, key must be shared first between the sender and receiver, and then the message is transferred. Some basic terminology. Plain text means original message. Ciphertext means coded message. Cipher algorithm for transforming plain text to ciphertext. Key means info used in cipher known only to sender or receiver. In cipher or encrypt, converting plain text to ciphertext. Decipher or decrypt, recovering ciphertext from plain text. Cryptography, a study of encryption principles or methods. Cryptanalysis or code breaking, a study of principles or methods of deciphering ciphertext without knowing key. Cryptonology, field of both cryptography and cryptanalysis. Cryptography characterized along three independent dimensions. First, the type of encryption operations used for transforming plain text to ciphertext involved substitutional and transposition. Next, the second, number of key used. Symmetric single key, symmetric single key, secret key, and convention encryption. Next, asymmetric two-key or public key encryption. Different keys, both sender and receiver. The third, the way in which the plain text is processed. Block and stream.
So what is cryptanalysis? It is the art of process of deciphering code's message without being told the key. The objective of cryptanalysis is to recover key, not just message. There are two approaches: symptomatic attack and brute force attack. If cryptanalytic attack succeeds in deducting the key, the effect is catastrophic. All further and past messages encrypted with the key are compromised. While brute force attack, it tries every possible key. On average, half of all possible key must be tried to achieve success. Types of attacks on encrypted messages. First, ciphertext only. Only no algorithm and ciphertext is statistical no or can identify plain text. For example, the Kaiser shipper. Which letter is the plain text is shifted a certain number of places down the alphabet. Known plain text. Known plain text suspect plain text and ciphertext. This works for having an access to ciphertext and its corresponding plain text. Its goal is to guess the secret key or to develop an algorithm which allow into decrypt and any further message. Chosen plain text. Select plain text and obtain ciphertext. Chosen ciphertext. Chosen ciphertext, select ciphertext and obtain plain text. Cryptanalysis can gather information by obtaining description of chosen ciphertext. From these pieces of information, the adversary can attempt to recover the hidden secret key used for description. Brute force search or the exhaustive search, also known as generate and test, is a very general problem-solving technique and algorithm paradigm that consists of systematically enumerating all possible candidates for the solution and checking whether each candidate satisfies the problem's statement.
Brute force attacks. In cryptography, a brute force attack involves systematically checking all possible keys until the correct key is found. Brute force attacks. Try every key to decipher the ciphertext. Next, on average, need to try half of all possible keys. Time needed proportional to size of key space. Ciphers. Ciphers, also called encryption algorithms, are systems for encrypting and decrypting data. A cipher converts the original message, called plain text, into ciphertext using a key to determine how it is done.